There is a rumour going around that everybody in Germany speaks English, so there's no point learning German.
You guys don't understand me? Like I would ask someone, Hallo, sprechen Sie English? And they're like, Nein, nur Deutsch. And I'm like, aber warum? English is the world language.
Yeah, there's always more than one side to the story, and in this video, I'm bringing you 11 great reasons why you should absolutely learn German.
So, hallo, ich bin Amerikaner, ich bin neu hier in Deutschland und ich liebe es hier, weißt du?
No, that's not how you do it. Let's try that one more time. What? Just don't do that. Try this instead.
Hallo, ich bin Amerikaner, ich bin neu hier in Deutschland, ich liebe es hier und ich bin dankbar hier zu sein.
Now we're talking. Speaking German naturally just takes a little bit of practice, but did you know you have options? Because Germany has a ton of regional dialects. The Goethe Institute checked this out and they found that 50% of Germans can speak standard German and a dialect. And I think there's potential here to make the speaking part of German not boring.
Was hast du heute Morgen gefrühstückt?
Also ich habe heute in der Früh ein Wurstbrötl gegessen.
Und du?
Und ich habe in der Früh Müsli gegessen.
Ich habe heute Morgen Müsli gefrühstückt.
Käse heb ik erop gemaakt und Konfitüre schmeckte mooi.
Und dann Pfefferminztee mit bisschen Honig drin. Gut rumgerührte Pfefferminz habe ich daheim selbst geerntet.
See what I mean? You should probably learn standard German first, but if you don't love it, go make some friends in a different part of Germany.
German has the best compound words ever and is a really literal language. Personal favourites include Handschuhe, gloves, literally handshoes.
German is chock-a-block with very literal words, and if you're up for a laugh, well, I'll get you started right here. But that is nothing. German is also famous for cramming entire sentences into a word. The longest word in the language is one that I'm not even going to try to pronounce, but it looks a little bit like this. I do not recommend using that as a password, but you could always try this one. It's an ailment that some Germans suffer from in springtime, but the rest of us luckily are completely immune to. Or the word for a man who cries when saying goodbye.
Pneumono ultramikroskopik silikovulkanokoniosis, Rechtsschutzversicherungsgesellschaften, Rindfleisch-Etikettierungs-Überwachungsaufgabenübertragungsgesetz, Betäubungsmittelverschreibungsverordnung.
The cool thing is that if you reverse engineer the long words, you get a lot of small words and then you can understand them, and it's fun to do so. You can probably even invent some words yourself and get away with it.
Donaudampfschifffahrts. Oh, come on.
Fun fact, German has one letter that didn't even get a capitalized version until 2017. Know what it is? Take a guess. We can't avoid the notorious grammar of German, so might as well find the intriguing parts, right? Which is easy because Germans capitalize all their nouns. But why? Nobody else does that. And there is a unique letter you've probably seen before. Looks a little bit like this. It's like a double S in disguise, except it's really a mixture of S and Z. And for some reason, in English, we're supposed to call it the sharp S. No, I don't know, but it comes after a long vowel or a diphthong. You aren't ever allowed to start a word with this letter. And if you don't like it, well, just go and live in Switzerland, because those guys, well, it turns out they don't like it either. Now, how about counting? Numbers are often the first thing people learn, because counting is easy. 22, 23, 24.
In German, it's not like that, because German doesn't make sense. So first you say the last digit. You say 4, then you put an und in between, and then you say 20. So it's 24.
4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie.
German language is riddled with quirky traits like this, but you shouldn't get mad. You should go with the flow and have a laugh while you are learning German. And I have some funny Germans you can follow as well. But first, you've got to like and subscribe to this channel. Turn on notifications too, and then I will tell you. I'll tell you. You ready? Did you do it? You did? Okay, let's go.
Schnecken erschrecken, wenn Schnecken an Schnecken schlecken, weil zum Schrecken vieler Schnecken Schnecken nicht schmecken.
My friend Anya is completely nuts, and it's pretty impossible not to enjoy her videos. She's authentic, high energy, extremely helpful, but she's not the only funny one.
Deine Ohren sehen elefantenmäßig aus. Danke. Und deine Augen melonenmäßig.
Ja, ja.
Trixie is also really entertaining. She makes videos about social situations and typical German behaviour, and her lessons are quick and easy to follow with lots of cheeky humour. So if you like watching YouTube and you want to learn a language while having a laugh, well, learn German.
Ha!
Was ist passiert?
Was passiert ist? Das Leben ist passiert. Die Natur holt sich alles zurück. Fressen und gefressen werden. Darwin, Mendel, Rambo, Teil 1, 2 und 3.
These are the professions with the highest average gross salary in Germany. Shout out to my dentist. Hope you're having a good time in your huge mansion, driving your Porsche to work while looking at the 2 golden Rolexes you wear on your wrists.
If you want to learn a language that will make you more employable and earn you more money, well, listen up. German is a power language, and they predict it will remain a power language of the future. There's this thing called the Power Language Index. I bet you didn't know that. And it measures 5 doors a language can open for you. Even The Economist, that's this newspaper right here, places German top of the highest paying languages to learn, with an average boost to your earnings of 3.8%. Why? Mostly because of its awesome economic strength. If you're a techie, you can really score with German. More than 45% of tech jobs requiring a second language ask for German.
Please don't come to Germany without learning the German language. Why? You can't get the job. Your daily lifestyle gonna be horrible, and to get the PR you should have at least B1 level of proficiency in German language. So start learning German.
Engineering, science, cars, IT, tourism, the chocolate industry. Wait a minute, the chocolate industry? Well, yes, Germany has a massive cocoa industry. They're Europe's leading chocolate producer. And my goodness, those Germans can devour chocolate. And you should see their retail sales figures for organic foods. It's completely mad. But outside of mad stats about Germany, there is a wealth of opportunity in other countries if you speak German too. In fact, watch any YouTube video on which languages make the most money, and German will be in there.
Also, like Munich is a very big city like here in Germany, and you have like a lot of companies who are also here, so it's not that hard to find a job.
Obviously the language, because you need to understand the stuff you can read in the streets. I don't know, when the train driver is shouting at you, you need to get what they're talking about. If you're not native speaker, then you can be struggling.
But the language is the biggest burden, yeah. Not many can or willing to speak English.
The language is a barrier, but once you can speak the language, I think it's a lot of opportunities open up.
If you haven't witnessed this phenomenon, I'm guessing you've never walked further than the post box at the end of your street. Germans are everywhere, and probably one reason is their holidays. See, Germany ranks among the top 5 countries worldwide for the most paid vacation days, and they happen to adore travelling. So there's one explanation for why they're everywhere all of the time, spending euros. And German people are record holders when it comes to holiday spending. If you have a little shop Germans will like, remember this, and seriously, take a basic German course before they come browsing.
Here in Germany, there are a lot of tuition-free schools, or at least schools that pay very low tuition fees.
Germany is a magnet for international students, so the German language is a gateway to first-class education. And it's 100% true. Studying in Germany is almost free. Yes, you can take many courses in English, but there are plenty of other courses that require you to know German. When you apply to study in Germany, you'll often have to present proof of proficiency in German. But if you're aiming for the best, well, there are great scholarships, such as this one. And the teaching language in most degree programs is German. Trust me, knowing German will make you more comfortable across the board. It's kind of obvious, right? Germans tend to be quite reserved and take a little bit of pride in their language, so I do recommend you learn the basics before plunging into their world. Speaking of which, I've made it my goal to enable language lovers like you to find the easiest and most effective way in, and we do have a very special way to do that here at StoryLearning, where we teach languages through stories. See, stories are the best way that I found to learn any language, because they are how we learned our first languages, how we learn naturally, and we can use stories to learn a new language like German too. And if you'd like to find out more about how we do that here at StoryLearning, I have something completely free for you. It is a StoryLearning kit that shows you how to learn languages using the amazing power of stories. There's a link in the description below. It's completely free. Click down there in the description and check it out.
Nach einigen Minuten, als sich die Augen an die Finsternis gewöhnten, sah sie,
dass der raue Boden von geronnenem Blut verkrustet war und das Zimmer selbst war gefüllt mit toten Frauen.
Princesses, poison, peril. The famous Grimm brothers were German and their weird fairy tales are legendary. In fact, they're the ones who brought fairy tales to the Western world way before Disney tried their hand. Man, some of those originals are pretty dark as well. But why should you care, language lovers? Well, I'll tell you, and this is fascinating. At a time when most people couldn't write, the Grimm brothers recorded the vernacular speech of storytellers they met so that they could preserve the exact original meaning. This meant the stories were archives of not just the tales, but of the German dialects spoken in various different areas. Pretty cool, right? Here's a little German fairy tale vocab to whet your appetite. Think you can find anything on the internet? Admit it, I know you remember that day where you almost went crazy trying to find something. Well, did you know that about 6% of the internet is written in German? The domain .de used to be second only to .com, and if you want to have a big online presence for your business, learning German could be a clever strategic move. German gives you access to another 15 million websites. That's right, and I'm not even counting the German sites ending in .net, .org and .info.
But I like Germany for the techno environment. And especially, yeah, it's true, like being an artist here, it's so much better than in Italy, for example. Like it's so easy to find job here. People actually go to theater, so we get like reward for what we do. Yeah.
And great techno scene.
This is an interesting one. Germans are very big on allowing artists creative and cultural freedom because they consider the arts to be important for society, which means you will get away with things that perhaps your own country doesn't quite allow. And Germany's art scene is huge and vibrant, especially in Berlin, one of my favourite cities. In fact, they love their artists so much that the state provides funding for many creatives. And the part you will really love is that if you're a creative, Germany has an artist visa. If you're a foreigner, it's not guaranteed though, so don't buy that plane ticket just yet and wing it. Do everything you can to look like a good candidate. If it were me, I would learn German up to a B1 level before applying. The independence of art and culture is guaranteed by the German constitution, so artists living in Germany can count on support. Pretty cool.
Mit Schuss, with a shot. This is important if you want a little extra something in your Glühwein, like rum or amaretto. Bude or Stand. These are the stalls. If you want to know where the closest Glühwein stall is, ask for the Glühweinbude.
Glühwein, hot chestnuts, snowballs. Even if you don't celebrate Christmas, this is awesome to experience. German towns like this turn into a wonderland of snow and light and delicious food that you just can't pronounce. Brass bands and children singing German songs, Christmas markets in Germany, they are of course a tradition that dates back hundreds of years, and there is no holding back. Of course you can show up and have fun without speaking any German, but it's way more thrilling to actually know what you want to ask for, because you know, Germans, they like specifics.
A lot of people will say that they love the German culture, but they don't speak German. And for me, that cannot go hand in hand. I mean, maybe you might have an appreciation for Germany, but to actually understand and appreciate the history, the food, the language, the religion, and everything else that happens here and how the society works, you need to understand that the language is the core fundamental glue that keeps everything together.
Think of it as your reward at the end of your year learning German. And if you liked the part about German dialects, then you're absolutely going to love the next video coming up right over here.